Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Akira Shahida from Accounting Student in State University of Jakarta. In this video, I would like to present my research proposal entitled The Role of Profitability on the Effect of Leverage and Liquidity on Timelines of Financial Reporting during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, here are the list of contents of my presentation. There are Chapter 1, Introduction, Chapter 2, Literature Review, and Chapter 3, Research Methods. Okay, next. Chapter 1, Introduction. Background. The development of business in Indonesia is getting tougher day by day in terms of competition. The obligation for companies going public to submit financial reports aims to provide information about the financial position, performance, and cash flow of a company. Decree of the Board of Directors of the Jakarta Stock Exchange, number cap strip 306/BEJ/07 strip 2004. The annual financial report must be submitted in the form of an audit financial report, no later than the end of the third month after the date of the annual financial report. However, the presence of the COVID-19 outbreak in Indonesia has disturbed various sectors, including the economy. On March 18, 2020, the Financial Services Authority, or OJK, conveyed in a press release regarding the relaxation of the financial report deadline. In the press release, submission of annual financial report, which should have been extended no later than March 31st, was extended by 2 months to May 31st at the latest. Then, in 2021, based on OJK Circular Letter of the Republic of Indonesia number 20 concerning stimulus policies and relaxation of provisions related to issuer or public companies in 2019, provisions concerning the deadline for submitting reports annual financial statement for issuers or public companies are still extended by 2 months from the time limit referred to in laws and regulation in the capital market sectors. Then, in 2022, based on the circular of the Ministry of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia, number SA4, the provisions regarding the deadline for submitting annual financial reports are May 9, 2022. Okay, next. However, even though provisions regarding the obligation to submit financial reports and sanctions for not fulfilling these obligations have been enacted, there are still companies that are late in submitting their financial reports. Here is a summary of delay in submission of financial statement ending December 31st by issuer on the IDX. It is known that there is an increase in the percentage of companies that are late in submitting audit financial report for 2019 until 2021. In the announcement of the 2020 Indonesia Stock Exchange, or IDX, it was recorded that up to June 2nd, 2020, as many as 63 companies had not submit audit financial statement ending December 31st, 2019. Then in 2021, it was recorded that as of May 31st, 2021, as many as 88 companies had not submit audit financial report ending December 31st, 2020. Or an increase of around 3% from the previous year. And in 2022, it was recorded that as of May 9, 2022, as many as 91 companies had not submitted audit financial statement ending December 31st, 2021, or an increase of 0.3% from the previous year. The energy sector is a sector with an important role in national development, being one of the sectors with a high percentage of delay in submitting audit financial reports. In fact, PT Terindo Hanatamat Tbk, Medno Energi International Tbk, and Ginting Jaya Energi Tbk experienced delay in submitting audit financial reports for 3 consecutive years in 2019 until 2021. Therefore, quite a lot of research has discussed the factors that influence the timelines of submission of financial reports. There are several factors that can affect the timely submission of financial reports, including leverage, liquidity, and profitability. So based on the background, I found the research gap for this research. First, inconsistent results on the influence of leverage, liquidity, and profitability variables on the timelines of submission of financial reports. Second, the results of research relate to the ability of profitability to moderate the effect of leverage and liquidity on the timelines of submission of financial report have also not shown consistent results. Therefore, I'm interested in conducting research with the title The Role of Profitability in the Effect of Leverage and Liquidity on the Timelines of Financial Reporting During the COVID-19 Pandemic. So, based on the background of the problems that have been described, I still find research gap in the form of inconsistent previous research result. Therefore, I made the formulation of research questions, namely, first, does leverage affect the timelines of submission of financial reports? Second, does liquidity affect the timelines of submission of financial reports? Third, is profitability able to moderate the effect of leverage on the timely submission of financial reports? And last, is profitability able to moderate the effect of liquidity on the timely submission of financial report? Okay, next, based on the research questions that have been mentioned, the purpose of this study are first to prove the effect of leverage on the timelines of financial reporting. Second, to prove the effect of liquidity on the timelines of financial reporting. Third, to prove profitability is able to moderate the effect of leverage on the timelines of financial reporting. And last, to prove profitability is able to moderate the effect of liquidity on the timelines of financial reporting. So, based on the purpose that have been mentioned, I can provide two benefits, namely theoretical benefits and practical benefits. Theoretical benefits, there are three benefits. First, providing benefits in the form of enrichment of knowledge and literature regarding the importance of timelines in submitting financial reports. Second, providing results regarding leverage and liquidity on the timelines of submission of financial reports, as well as the role of profitability as a moderating variable. Third, this research is supported by signal theory, compliance theory, and agency theory, and is expected to support these theories. And for practical benefits, there are two benefits. First, for companies, the research is expected to provide an understanding of the importance of submitting financial reports on time. And last, for investors, this research is expected can be used as information to pay attention to the value of profitability, leverage, and liquidity of a company, because these variables are thought to influence companies in submitting their financial report. So next, chapter 2, literature review. First, supporting theory. There are few theories in this research. First, agency theory. Agency theory is used to determine the relationship between the agent and the principal through the relevance of the information conveyed by the agent to the principal based on the timelines of submission of an entity's financial statement. Second, compliance theory. In compliance theory, issuers who have gone public have consequences for complying with the established policies, One of the policies for issuers that have gone public is the obligation to submit financial reports according to a predetermined time. And next, signaling theory. Signaling theory explains that companies that have gone public have an obligation to publish their financial statements. When a company submits an accurate, complete, and timely report, this will later become a signal for investors, which can later be taken into consideration in the decision-making process. Next, timelines. Timelines is one of the most important factors in conveying information. Timely information means making information available to users of information before it loses its capacity to influence decisions. Next, leverage. The ratio used to measure the extent to which company assets are financed by debt. A higher leverage ratio indicates a company facing higher risks because there is a possibility that a company cannot pay off its debts. Next, liquidity. Liquidity is the company's ability to meet its short-term obligation in a timely manner. Companies that have a high level of liquidity indicate that the company has a greater ability to pay off its short-term obligations when compared to companies with a low level of liquidity. And last is profitability. The ratio to measure a company's ability to generate profits at a certain level of sale, assets, and share capital is profitability. Profitability is an indicator of a company's success in generating profits. So that the higher the profitability of a company, the higher the company's ability to generate profits. Next is previous research review. As a basis and reference in research, I use several references from previous research journals relevant to the research topic, which are related to the effect of leverage and liquidity on the timely submission of financial reports with profitability as a moderator. There are three main differences for researchers in conducting this research, namely the research by Putri and Titan Terzaghi in 2022, research by Mutiara in 2020, and research by Nurmiati in 2016. However, there are still gaps between the result of the studies. Therefore, I would like to review the factors that are thought to have an influence on the timelines of financial reporting to enrich scientific knowledge. Next is theoretical framework. The timelines of financial reporting is one of the important variables in the relevance of a financial report, which is useful in providing a real picture of the condition of a company and will be used as material for consideration in decision making. There are many factors that contribute to the timelines of financial reporting, including leverage, liquidity, and profitability. So in this study, profitability is used as a moderator on the influence of leverage and liquidity on the timelines of financial reporting. Based on this, the research army framework can be described as follows below. You can see the theoretical framework. Okay, next. So here are hypothesis development in this research. Hypothesis 1, leverage has a negative effect on the timelines of financial reporting. Hypothesis 2, liquidity has a positive effect on the timelines of financial reporting. Hypothesis 3, profitability moderates the effect of leverage on the timelines of financial reporting. And last hypothesis, or hypothesis 4, profitability moderates the effect of liquidity on the timelines of financial reporting. So next, chapter 3, research methods. First, unit of analysis. The unit of analysis in this study is the energy sector companies listed on the Indonesia Stock Exchange or IDX. And population, the population used is energy sector companies listed on the Indonesia Stock Exchange in 2019 until 2021. The population used in this research is 65 companies. So next example, this study used a purposive sampling technique, namely a sampling technique for data search with certain compliance or criteria. The criteria used in determining the sample in this study are: first, companies in the energy sector listed on the Indonesia Stock Exchange in row during 2019 until 2021. Second, companies in the energy sector whose financial reports can be accessed for 2019 until 2021. And last, companies in the energy sector whose annual reports use the financial year ending on 31st December. So based on the criteria, the sample selection process result in a total sample of 59 companies with a total of 177 observations. Next is data collection technique. The data used in this study is secondary data, namely data obtained indirectly through other parties. This study used audit annual report data from the Indonesian Stock Exchange or IDX website and related company originating from the energy sector during 2019 until 2021. In addition, I also use literature review, literature studies, research journals, and books. Next is variable operationalization. The variables in this study consist of three types, namely the dependent variable, which in this study is the timelines of financial reporting. Second, the independent variables, which in this study consists of leverage and liquidity. And last is moderating variable, which in this study is profitability. So first, the dependent variable. The timelines of financial reporting is measured using a dummy scale which has two categories. Category 1 is given to companies that submit their financial reports on time. Meanwhile, category 0 is given to companies that are late in submitting their financial reports. So, in this picture, you can see the audit financial reporting deadline in the report 2019. The deadline is 31st May 2020. In the 2020, the deadline is 31st May 2021. And in the 2021, the deadline is 9th of May 2022. So next is independent variable. First, leverage. Leverage is project using the debt equity ratio formula. Debt equity ratio is the ratio used to assess debt to equity. And next is liquidity. Liquidity is project using the current ratio, where current ratio is the ratio used to measure a company's ability to pay short-term obligation or debt that are due with available current asset. And next is moderation variable. In this research, moderation variable is profitability. So profitability in this study is measured using the return on assets. ROA is a ratio used to measure the extent to which a company's ability to generate profit from the assets used in the companies. And next is data analysis technique. The data analysis technique used in this study was logistic regression analysis with moderate regression analysis, or MRA. First is descriptive statistical analysis. Descriptive statistical analysis is used to provide an overview of the distribution and behavior of research sample data by looking at the minimum value, maximum value, average, and standard deviation of each research variable. Next, second is logistic regression analysis. Logistic regression analysis is a method of statistical analysis to describe the relationship between the dependent variable that has two categories with one or more independent variables on a category or interval scale. In this study, the determination of the hypothesis was carried out by looking at the significance level. A means 5%. And in this picture, you can see the determination of the hypothesis is as follow like this. Okay, and next here is the regression model formed in this study is as follows like this. Okay, next is multi-collinearity test, because in logistic regression there are a few tests that have we do. First is multi-collinearity test. Multi-collinearity test is to test whether there is a correlation between the independent variables in the model, or to determine whether there is a correlation between the independent variable. It is known from the prudence inflation factor and tolerance value. The decision-making criteria regarding the multi-collinearity tests are as follows. You can see in this picture like this. And next is regression model feasibility test. Is to find out whether the empirical data is in accordance with the regression model, or there is no difference between the model and the data, so that it can be said to be fit. The decisions regarding Hasmer and Lemsch's goodness to fit tests are as follows like this. You can see in this picture. So next is the entire model test. Is to test the model as a whole whether it fits the data. The statistics used are based on the probability function. The way to assess model fit is to compare the value between -2 logarithm not L at the beginning, or block number means 0, with the value -2 log L at the end, or it means block number means 1. If there is a reduction in value between the initial -2 log L and the final -2 log L, this indicates that the hypothesis model fits the data. So next is determination coefficient test. Is to measure the model's ability to explain how much influence the independent variables simultaneously have on the dependent variable, which can be indicated by the value of a just R². And next is Wald test. Wald test is to test the significance of each independent variable to dependent variable. And the decision making regarding the Wald test are follows. You can see in this picture. And next is moderate regression analysis. Is to test the ability of the moderating variables to strengthen or weaken the effect of the independent variables on the dependent variables. The moderating variable is said to be able to moderate the influence of the independent variable on the dependent variable if it has a significant value or less than 5%. Okay, maybe that's all from my presentation. Sorry if there are things that are less pleasing, so thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.